Yes, people, welcome back to the home of the Premier League champions. It's the Kop TV. This trophy is now going to be on the table for the foreseeable until the season ends. And we lift it. All right, so smash that like button, get your comments in. This is your first ever match preview as Premier League champions. Big up to you at home. Get your comments in. I want lineup predictions, score predictions. Bit of a weird one, this, because we've won the league. But there's a lot on the line still for Chelsea. They're fighting to get in the top four. So, big 3 points needed. Professionalism needed. No complacency. No alcohol in the system after last time when Trent didn't even know where he was when he lined up for the first game after winning the league. And we go to Chelsea, right? It's 4:30. And when we were in contention to win the league back in December, January, a lot of people were looking at this game as if to say Liverpool must win this. If they win that, they might win the league. We've already done it. All right. So look at this stat, by the way. Chelsea winless in the last 10 meetings with Liverpool in all competitions, drawing 7. There has been a lot of draws between these two teams. Only once before have they gone longer without a win over the Reds, and that was from 1985 to 1990 when Liverpool were the best team in Europe. After their 2-1 win in October, which I definitely enjoyed, Liverpool are looking to complete their first league double over Chelsea since 1920. Did not know that. Arne Slot could become only the third Reds boss to win both of his first 2 games against Chelsea. You know who the other 2 are? Bill Shankly, who's on this top, and Roy Evans. By the way, shout out to Royal Flush Designs. Sensational bit of machinery, this. We've got the T-shirt of all the league managers who have won titles. You've got Bill, Bob, Joe, Kenny, Kloppo, and Arne Slot. And they've sent me this incredible hoodie, which says Midfield Maestro on it. Look at that. Because he is a midfield maestro. He's the godfather. It's Alexis McAllister. And I got Doyle a couple as well. So head over to Royal Flush Designs if you want to get involved in them. Chelsea have picked up 17 points in the last 8 Premier League matches, having collected just 9 points from their previous 10 beforehand. That is not a good stat you want to be hearing. Champions Liverpool, let's say that again. Champions Liverpool have scored in each of the last 30 Premier League matches since that fabled 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest in December. The only side to have a longer scoring run in a single campaign was Arsenal in 2001-2, who scored in all 38. So we must score. But Chelsea have not used a single player over the age of 27 in a Premier League match this season. That is crazy. With this run of 34 games is the longest by any side in Premier League history. Before that, the previous longest had been Liverpool in April 2000. So big up. Interesting stats. They don't mean anything. All that matters is the scoreline. But if we look at the table, Liverpool 82 points clear at the top, 22 points clear of Chelsea as well, who, if they win this game, let's be honest, they are putting themselves right up there for Champions League qualification, currently on 60 points. City on 61, Newcastle on 62, Arsenal on 67. They definitely won't catch them. But this weekend, Man City play Wolves, Newcastle play Brighton away. So points up for grabs there. But as a Liverpool fan, this is where the professionalism comes into it. If you think for 1 second, Arne Slot, I think he did give them the day off on Monday, I'm pretty sure. And why wouldn't you have the day off on Monday? Just to come down after all that emotion on the Sunday. But I'm pretty sure they would have had the day off on Monday. Train Tuesday, train Wednesday, train Thursday, train Friday. Maybe a day off on Saturday or a light session. Or even travel to London on the Saturday. Or you could even travel to London on the Sunday because it's a later kickoff. So this is where Arne Slot's professionalism comes in, right? We all saw what happened when Liverpool won the league last time. In terms of Trent didn't know where he was. You know, we got smoked 5-0 by City after they gave us a guard of honour. So that can't happen again. But speaking of guards of honour, this will be the first of 4 guards of honours, right? From Chelsea, we've got one from Arsenal coming up. We've got one from Brighton. We've got one from Crystal Palace as well. So this is guard of honour number 1 for the number ones, the champs. How will Chelsea fans kind of take it? Will they clap? Will they be respectful? Will they be appreciative? And listen, we can all laugh and joke, but if I was a Chelsea player and supported Chelsea, for example, and Liverpool came to town as champions, you stand there and clap. It's the respectful sportsman's-like thing to do. So you must respect it. But Chelsea, 17 wins which is wild, actually. It's only one win less than Arsenal across the whole season. 9 draws, and it's the 8 defeats that the Chelsea fans are fuming about. A lot of them already calling for Enzo Maresca's head. But if he gets them into the top 5 this season, he'll be the one laughing. He might not even be there next season. However, Chelsea, this is such an important game to them, and we need to understand that, right? We can't just come here, couple passes, bits and bobs, and expect we're going to walk them over. If they weren't challenging for Europe, let's say if they were in 8th or something, like Fulham, then maybe it would be a slightly easier game. But they have to win this game to almost guarantee some fighting chance going into the last 2 games of gaining that Champions League spot. So, what's the mentality like from Liverpool fans and players going into this one? Obviously, it's party time, guards of honour. The sun will be out in London. It'll be a beautiful day, I'm sure. But once again, I must stress, if you feel like there's any kind of let up here, you will be punished. So do not let this be taken for granted. It's an amazing thing getting a guard of honour, but switch on from the first minute. And actually, last season, what was the score at Chelsea last season? It was 1-1, first game of the season, wasn't it? So we owe them a win. We should have had a penalty as well, by the way, last year when Jackson handballed it, the sausage. But lineup prediction, it's a good question, isn't it? Because could you play Kelleher in this one? Could you play Tsimikas? Could you play Harvey? Could you play Curtis? Could you play Gakpo through the middle? Could you play Nunes? They're the questions. But knowing what we know from Arne Slot in his 34 Premier League games so far, he does not rest. He does not, create excuses for players not to play. If you're fit enough, you will be starting. And if you are in Arne Slot's favourite, 11 to 16 players expect to start. So lineup wise, if Chelsea weren't fighting for a Champions League spot so desperately, I would chuck Kelleher in, but no, Alisson, I think even he'd be gutted to not play in this game. So Alisson starts for me. Yes, I have said in the past that Trent shouldn't start every game now. We're still up in the air as to what he's going to do with his long-term career. Is it at Liverpool? Is it at Real Madrid? But I've kind of gone back on that a little bit, I have to say, because of his performance last week. But again, if you tossed a coin and one side was Conor Bradley, one side was Trent, I wouldn't mind. But because it's Chelsea, he's got a good record. He scored a great free kick at Stamford Bridge a couple of years ago. I will go with Trent, Virgil, Konate, and I would chuck in Robertson. But definitely expect Tsimikas to come on at some point and take over that left-back position. In the midfield, it's pretty simple. I think it's McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai again. You could, of course, chuck in a Harvey instead of Dominic. I would love to see it. But Dominic, we know what he offers, and especially with Mo Salah openly admitting to the media that he's asked Arne Slot to do less defensive work. That Szoboszlai role is so important because he comes across to the right half position, if you want to call it that, and definitely covers for Trent and covers for Mohamed as well when he's running up the wing, or running down the wing, I should say. So I go with them, but again, I'd be more than happy to see Harvey Elliott get a nice chunk of game time in this one. Curtis Jones was great when he came on the other day as well. And then up front, Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo, what a decision that is to make. Both of them on 17 goals in all comps for the season. They've both got, I think, at least 10 assists. So again, it's a toss-up. It's 50-50. Pick your player. I mean, I'll go Luis Diaz for me. I think he has torn up Reece James a few times in those finals that we played against Chelsea. So I'd go him. Through the middle, we still don't really know the bottom of the Nunes debacle. Do we have to pay Benfica an extra £5 million if he starts another league game for Liverpool? It's not been confirmed. It's not been denied by Arne Slot. He's almost made a little joke out of it and said to the journalist that asked him about this, do you believe everything you read? Because you shouldn't. So I understand his standpoint on that one. Difficult one to openly admit out there. And obviously Darwin did that tweet as well, didn't he? So I don't think he starts. I think he does start Jota or Gakpo through the middle. Just for the sake of this, I'll go with Jota through the middle. And then obviously Mohamed on the right. Again, off the bench, how many times have we said this season? We already know what the starting lineup it's going to be. It's just a matter of who comes off the bench. And I was just having a chat there before. And someone said, what's happened to Chiesa? Is he injured? And I said, no, he's not injured. And these are the type of games. Listen, if Liverpool 1-0, 2-0 up, 2 or 3-1 up, 20 minutes to go, get Chiesa on that pitch. He stretches the game and gets you a goal. So he could come on. Obviously, Diogo if Gakpo starts through the middle, or Gakpo if Diogo starts. Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Endo, Simicast. They've been like our main subs that have come on this season. So that's the team I'm going with. Have I got it right? Have I got it wrong? Let me know in the chat. Score prediction. I'll go Liverpool to win 3-1. Very difficult place to go, Stamford Bridge. I know Chelsea are on a bit of a downer. I know they're not really that imperial, or they're far from it, that imperious Chelsea of 20 years ago where you couldn't pay them to lose at home. But times have changed. Liverpool are the champs, and there's a reason why we've scored 80 goals and they've scored 59. So I will go for a Liverpool 3-1 win. Let me know in the chat, do you agree? Do you disagree on that? There's still a very, very sharp needle that separates these two fans. So much history between them the last 20 years. The finals, the semi-finals, the league games, the Rafas, the Jose's, the Tuchel's versus Klopp. Like, this really has been one of the, in my opinion, one of the best Premier League rivalries in the Premier League era. Liverpool-Chelsea. So I'm still expecting that kind of, no love lost kind of attitude for the game between the fans as well. So I'll go 3-1. Let me know in the chat what you think. And if Liverpool do win, they go to 85 points with 3 games remaining after that, which would have 9 points up for grabs. So if Liverpool win all their remaining games, you're on 94 points. Break the 90-point barrier. That's all Liverpool fans want from here on in, now that the league is wrapped up. Don't take your foot off the pedal. Go for the kill. Still have that same mentality that you had against Tottenham and throughout the season. If this was a Klopp team, I think maybe we wouldn't be so fresh and ready. But because they've had their day off, because they've been training, and I've seen some clips of the training, they're looking good. Even Nunes is scoring in training. I will go for that Liverpool 3-1 win, which would be awful for Chelsea considering Forest City and Newcastle and Arsenal are all playing in and around them and could all pull away from them even more. And don't forget, Chelsea have got, will I call it a big game tonight? Obviously, that's why there's no Matisse here, by the way, because he's over in Stockholm watching Chelsea play. Is it Dragon's Garden? Who is it? Chelsea, European Conference League. Djurgården is the team that they're playing. 8 o'clock tonight. Decent time, actually. It's normally about 5:30, these kind of games. So, and if they beat them, it's Fiorentina or Real Betis in the final. But Chelsea imperious in that Europa League conference table, 6 wins out of 6. And they obviously go into tonight with big confidence. And I'm sure they're still going to rest players. I know it's a European semi-final. I'm pretty sure they'll still rest players because of what's to come on Sunday. And then after Sunday, they play again next Thursday. And then it's either Fiorentina or Real Betis in the final. So it's an interesting period for Chelsea. They still want to pick up points in the league, but they have to almost guarantee that they win this trophy to get into the Europa League. But trust me, Fiorentina, Real Betis, no mugs. And I actually want Betis to win this competition now because I like Betis, I always have. So that's what they're dealing with on their side of the coin. And they're obviously looking to do some damage over Liverpool and almost piss on the parade. Yes, we're getting the guard of honour. Yes, we've got this in the bag. But they'll still be wanting to get one over on Liverpool. Don't you worry about that. So there can be no slip-ups or complacency in this one. I've said 3-1. I've told you the scores. I've told you the lineups. Please get your comments in. What do you think at home? And of course, myself and Scouse GK will have instant match reaction videos for you. I think we're actually going to the Stapleton Tavern in Stroud Green Road, Finsbury Park for this one, unless I do get a ticket. And if there is any spares flying around, all of that goes out the window and I'm going to SW6 or wherever Stamford Bridge is. So let me know. And then, like I said, Monday morning, Hot Topics, the first ever or second ever one as champions. And then next week, it's Arsenal. So can you imagine the previews that I'm going to be doing with the AFTV lot in preparation for next week, where they will also be giving us a guard of honour at Anfield. Right, until then, take care, enjoy, keep sharing the content, keep sharing the clips, keep sending clips in. We had an amazing video from someone in Uganda who emailed me saying, listen, you're not in Uganda, let me show you what it was like the other day. Let me just find his name. His name was Odongo, Saddam Odongo, right? And he was in Uganda watching the game. So any clips that you can send into the channel, we'll post them because that's what it's all about, showing the rest of the world what it's like to be a Liverpool fan. And of course, all of our content is streaming out as well. So go and watch that. And if you haven't already, watch the vlog, watch the fan cams from Sunday as well. Unbelievable. And long may it continue. Smash that like button. Up the Reds. See you on Sunday. Take care.